Alright, ready to go again. Haven't done a lot since the last video. Did a little bit of cleaning on the inside. Just the door, just there, bit on the dash. So it looks a lot cleaner than when I first got it. Haven't started on the driver's side yet, it's still pretty bad. But today's job, we're going to try and get this hatch off. So that's before I start. My wife was in the city the other night and she picked up, well, I paid $50 for it, but I think I paid about $40 too much. So it looks like it was originally blue and they've rattle canned it white, but it looks straight. So hopefully that'll go on. I might have to change the lock barrel over. So it'll look white from the outside, but definitely used to be off a blue car. But we'll see how we go. Alright, let's get started. Now it doesn't open a lot, it only opens maybe a third of the way. So it comes up a little, but it stops there, and I think the reason it stops is the top actually hits the roof. So I think the hinges might be bent. But we'll grab some tools and see what we can do. I'm going to start by taking this little wing off, so I think I just have to flick these out. Oh yep, there's one there. One there, so I'll get a tool and get them off. I might be able to reuse that white little wing on the other hatch, because the other one's blue, been painted. This one might be better, but we'll see how we go. Alright, I'll get a tool and get these off. Alright, those bolts are out, but it hasn't really done anything. It's still very solid, so maybe I'll have to get in through the back here. I'll just pop these out. Oh yeah, there's more bolts in there. Alright, we'll do those ones. Alright, got these bolts out. Rusty and wet underneath. And I think that sort of slides down a bit and then sort of comes out. So managed to get this off. Alright, so that's off. It's actually quite heavy. Anyway, that's one piece off. Might be the paint code there. Where is it? There. Alright, let's have a look at this. Still doesn't really let me move it up anymore. It's almost got to get this off, but I think that's part of the door. Got to get some ways to get into the hinges, which look to be... Oh, I might be able to get to those bolts. Actually, that might do it. I'll take those bolts off on both sides, and that should release it. Alright, I'll give that a go. Yeah, I just climbed in through the back, and I'm just attempting to get these bolts off. That should free it up. I'm not sure about the wiring though. I'm not sure where that disconnects, so I'll remove these bolts and then we'll see where that wiring goes. Alright, that's one hinge undone, and the gas shock as well. I think this is definitely a two-man job. I'll have a go at the other side. I'll have to put the camera down. I don't have a stand or anything, so I'll just try and get this other side off. Doesn't seem to be any wiring terminals at the top where the wires go through, so I'm going to have to trace it down. I think it must go down to the wiper motor and disconnect there. So I'll pull this panel off and we'll have a look under there. Yeah, I've just disconnected the window heater wires. Looks like everything has to go up inside the frame of the hatch. So I'll have to disconnect a lot of these, and I think the boot release as well. And I guess I'll have to pull them out up through the side where they'll come out at the top. I might just shut the hatch again, and I'll probably do this from the inside. Alright, everything's unclipped. That's the water for the wipers. Just got to, I think, crush these to push these through. There's one on the other side. Alright, so I think the wiring's all free. Just those little from the demister. I guess we'll just push them in. Now hopefully I'll be able to go outside and pull all this wiring from the top. If I can't, I'm not sure what the next step is, but we'll give it a go. Alright, that's the wiring out of one side. Looks like the window wiper water supply pipe and another terminal. Well, we've got a visitor. This is Walter. He's our pet pigeon. We found him at the bottom of a tree one day, and we nursed him and raised him, and now he's become quite friendly. He got the name Walter after the famous Walter White from Breaking Bad. He's quite a calm pigeon, but sometimes he can get angry, so that's where that story is. Well, we'll go around the other side and see if we can get these other wires out. I don't know if I can do it one-handed, but I'll give it a go. No, I'll just put the phone down for a sec. I've got a bit stuck. It doesn't seem to want to pull through the door frame, so I'm thinking that wire may have another connector on it further inside the car. So I'm going to try and pull off some interior panels and see if it connects somewhere else, which I can undo, because I'm having no luck getting it through that window frame. It's getting stuck on something. Here's a speaker panel. It's a bit rough under there. It looks like it was a Pioneer. I wonder if that was factory. Oh, I'll keep going. Right, well that was fun. Rear seat out. Panels. That's the rear seat upright. I had to remove this big piece of interior trim, which I had to take the seat out to get that out. Brackets to holding the seat on, because they went through this trim piece, so the bracket had to come off to allow me to get that side trim off. And there's the connectors there. So I assume I should just be able to undo those and then pull them up to the top, which will eventually loop around and I assume join these ones which are coming out of the door. Well, I'm hoping, because I've just about had enough. So alright, we'll see how that goes. Right, finally got the interior trim off. So the wire's unplugged and it comes up. I couldn't pull the cable through, obviously, because they were hooked on here. That's why I couldn't pull them through. So I think that should release them. What have we got here? Oh, some clip there. Right, let's go around and have a look. There's water in the boot. Leaking in through the hatch. Alright, looks like I've got a bit of movement. Here it comes. I've got a few connectors here. There's one. See, three. Well, I think that's it. I think the hatch is off. That took a long time. I'm glad I paused the video so I didn't have to bore you with it all. Let's just see here. Oh, it is off. Finally. Whew. Alright, now I think I'm going to take those hinges off because the spare hatch I've got has got hinges on it just in case these ones are bent. I think I'll take them off and we'll put the other ones on. They'll be blue, but really, who cares? Right, hinges off. I did have to remove some interior trim to get access to the bolts. So hinges are off. So I'll just go and get the other hatch and see if it sits on there. Alright, it's just sitting on there. I've got to put some nuts on those bolts. But it's sort of sitting on there okay. Alright, that's enough for today. Boot is bolted on. It's just a very loose fit. And we'll continue another day. But it's on. It's white. It'll do.